Hey guys, welcome to Film Deviant. Today we actually have a couple of awesome guests. We have Sylvia Soska and Jen Soska, the Twisted Twins. So, first question I have for you ladies, how has your stay been here in Chicago?
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It is insanely cool. We're guests of First Comics that we're doing work with. They're going to be releasing our films and director cut versions in graphic novel form. And they are awesome. They're all about the artists. They don't have censorship in their work. You can just be really creative with their stuff. And that's something you don't often get in film because it's a huge team effort. There's concessions, you've got no time, you got this, you got that. But in comic book form, you can be like, this is my idea, and just do it. And they've been hosting us so nicely. We've been having amazing dinners, meeting some really cool people, and it's just nerd heaven on earth, really, like any con.
Yeah.
Especially at C2E2. I mean, previously our only experience with Chicago was watching the Blues Brothers again and again and again. And we're going to cosplay as Jake and Elwood tomorrow.
Nice.
And pencil skirts. And no tops.
We're going to be really 63
Lasers.
ones. I'll send you guys photos after. I think they don't care about the Blues Brothers jokes here because I haven't seen any Blues Brothers. But
Jen and I are going to heckle people. We've proudly named ourselves the construction workers of the con, so we're right by the entrance.
Yeah,
and
people can't come in without passing.
And then we heckle them. We're like, "Hey, Deadpool, come over here!" And now they just kind of like weave away from us. But tomorrow, as the Blues Brothers, we're going to be asking for their children how much for the little girl, and we'll see how good that goes.
Nice.
I think it'll go okay.
Yeah.
No, it's going to go terrible.
Not for us. 2 drink minimum.
Let's move on to the next one here. American Mary has been well received critically, and it's such a leap from Dead Hooker. How has that affected your point of view for future projects? Is there any pressure on you?
People ask us, especially before American Mary had its world premiere at Fright Fest, which is a fucking incredible festival. Fright Fest is one of those festivals that's really known for a fan festival. Like, the fans have seen Dario Argento, Fulci, I mean, they know their shit. And people asked us, are you nervous about that, having seen, you know, Dead Hooker, and there's some Dead Hooker fans, because we're quite popular in the UK.
Yeah.
Not so much in our own hometown or around the world, but the UK, yes. And we're horror fans ourselves, and I'm most happy when I'm making work, and we make our films for the fans. So I never feel the pressure of, oh, is it shit? If it's shit, I wouldn't be releasing it. But if it was crap, I'd just grab the dailies and burn them somewhere and be like, oh, I don't know what happened to that film.
Well, Jen and I read all of our reviews, like positive and negative, which I really shouldn't because it drives me fucking insane.
Especially the ones that aren't very grammatically correct.
The ones that say I'm stupid, I'm like, how am I stupid? Be more concise. So
you know, if someone says they don't want to fuck us and we're ugly, stupid bitches, I'm okay with. But once someone
said, what do you think about the movie, though?
But once someone said, I bet they haven't even seen an Argento film, and I was like, don't you dare! You fucking take that back.
One of the main criticisms we got on Hooker was the camera work, because we were running around like crazy, the story, the plot, the characters, things like that. And I was like, okay guys, I hear you. Watch American Mary. Everything's going to be meticulous, the characters, the development. So we do listen. I don't know if we're listening to anybody on Bob. Everybody kept saying that they wanted more of a gore, like, blow up in your face for Mary, and everything's very restrained, and it's a horror movie you don't have to look away from, that we made specifically for like my mom, so she can watch it. But Bob is a whole different beast. It's going to be a lot more explosive and violent, whereas Mary was more restrained.
I feel every film just has to get more and more everything, and Bob is definitely more of absolutely everything. Mary, Dead Hooker in a Trunk is funny, like kind of smack you in the face, kind of funny. American Mary is really dark, kind of funny. Like, you can pick out the sick fucks in the audience by who's laughing. And Bob is really offensive, but to be that offensive is also very, very funny. I think it's probably our funniest script that we've read with our best dialogue yet.
Oh, cool. I'm so looking forward.
I can't wait for you to see it. Hopefully we're going to camera this year, so we'll have to give you a sneak peek of something.
Oh my god, I love that. I love that. Now, that's one of the things with American Mary, is that it's sexually charged, but not in an overt way. It's done very restrained, as you said. Do you feel that sexuality is important in horror movies?
Well, definitely in the character of Mary, because the whole basis of the film is appearances are everything. And what does someone who looks like Catherine Isabel have in common with someone like Lance, the big bouncer covered in tattoos, or somebody in the body mod community? We're all judged on appearance right away. And with Mary, she thought she was being accepted in a group she wanted to really be accepted in. She was like one of the boys, she was one of the surgeons. And they just saw her as like a party favorite. So after what happens, spoiler alert, something happens.
Something happens.
It's like she takes her sexuality back on her own. And I really like the final girl idea in horror movies. But a lot of the time, the antagonist is not usually a girl. But what if you took female aspects and took the final girl and the antagonist and kept her with her very feminine qualities to make this kind of like super character? That's what we really want to do. So she owns her sexuality in it. It's not being imposed on her anymore.
Yeah, Sylv and I are very big into third wave feminism, and one of the constructions or the criticisms we get, unfortunately, from a lot of women is if you want to be treated like a man, you need to dress down, you can't wear makeup, you can't wear high heels.
No makeup, I don't leave the house.
I dress like this to go to 7-Eleven. I'm not dressing like this for anyone else other than myself. I wasn't very popular in high school, and every time I go out, it's like a show. It's the party that I wasn't invited to. And I think it's more negative for a woman not to embrace her sexuality in that way, especially as a man can be attractive and talented and brilliant and successful as well. But with a woman, there's so much importance put onto her look, and not by every man. I mean, we don't fucking hate men. Some of you, sure, but not all of you. But it's just insane how much emphasis is put on a woman's looks, and I don't think a woman should change the way she looks or the way she feels about herself based on other people's opinions.
Right. And Mary does a great job of deconstructing that. Where.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, there's I don't want to say anything about it, but there's a scene where there's one female that doesn't. She wants to look like something else.
Yes,
and
Ruby.
It was handled perfectly in the movie as far as just the many aspects of seeing female appearances and sexuality. So I thought that was done really, really well.
Oh, thank you so much. We really wanted to go into different people's psyche about cosmetic surgery, not just like normal plastic surgery, but also like body modification, like how people adhere to their appearance to show what they feel like on the inside. And it's also kind of like battle armor, so they can protect themselves by being like, this is what I'm putting out to the world, and this is what I am actually.
Yeah, when Ruby says she doesn't want to be sexualized or degraded, it's so impactful, because the way you look, I mean, people project different things on you, and she wanted to be a doll. She didn't want to be sexualized. You don't look at Barbie and say, I want to fuck that. Well,
some people might.
But it was never about that for her, and that's why that procedure was so important for her to get.
Great stuff.
But I've read a lot of, and it's nothing against like American people or American media or anything
or
like
American
that.
distributors.
But it's weird because a lot of people didn't get it. Like some of the worst reviews I got, they said that it wasn't violent enough or there wasn't enough sexual content. I was like, well, you're not looking at the movie of what it is. You should appreciate it for what it is. And Screamfest was really brave with that. Like they're really backing behind Mary, and a lot of other places were kind of lukewarm. Like, oh, I don't know if the U.S. will like it. It's not the kind of movie we usually do, and it's hard when you do something original. And they were afraid because it was the biggest market. A lot of other guys, but. Yeah, Screamfest is totally ballsy with getting behind it.
It's also really bizarre because they said it wasn't sexual or violent enough, and then overall it was a really conservative audience where it was almost like a lot of them didn't even watch the film, and they're like, well, it's too bloody, it's too gory, body modification is, they went by the knee-jerk reaction, which kind of made me think you didn't actually watch the film, because I maintain that American Mary is a horror film you don't have to look away from.
Right, that's true.
I'm Jen Soska.
And I'm Sylvia Soska. And we're the Twisted Twins. Thank you for watching Film Deviant.